lawyer of the GMS Mississippi camp, giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim, Hawashai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Group Well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, and there's a couple things I want to go into, but you know what? For this in transit video, I'm gonna keep it simple. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, to you brothers and sisters who are tuning in to this live stream. All right, but I was watching this particular video, just a random video on social media, and I looked at the comment board. Right, it was a Jake had some type of skit with his child, but I was looking at the comment board, and the comments was like, "Is that a picture of white JC in your house?" Because he had a picture of an Edomite Messiah in his house, that old school picture. And this is a Jake that's probably in his 30s. But everybody on the comment board, they went to the very thing that he wasn't trying to, have attention on. It's a picture of Edomite JC. Funny, not funny, it's spiritual. And now people are waking up, man. Esau wants to create this narrative. That everybody is tired of the Israelites. But it's because of the Israelites, all right, that this information is out as to who we are, all right, where we're from, all right, who the Messiah is according to the Bible. All right, the Messiah is not a so-called white man. All right. It's because through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai, it's because of us. But it's Esau that's pushing this narrative that, we're the problem in the black community. All right, but no, we're the reason through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai that Jake is basically very woke now. He doesn't have the full, unadulterated truth per se, but Jake knows the basics, man. All right. Even if Jake doesn't acknowledge it, it's in his subconscious. He's aware now. The information is out. But yeah, it was a Jake on social media. But when I went to the comment board, after you watch something on social media, you go to the comment board. Everybody on the comment board was like, "Wait a minute, is that a picture of a white JC in your house?" And that became the topic on the comment board, and they had nothing to do with the little skit. You see? Because knowledge shall increase. And ultimately, that's going into technology. But the knowledge as to who we are, that has increased as well, too. All right, which shows you that Esau's kingdom is almost out of here, because the first attack of your kingdom was the information. All right, we're no longer, especially the 1/3, we're no longer moving in darkness, man. All right, and that's why the elites are using their puppet Donald Trump to wage war against the Israelites, because he knows his kingdom is almost out of here. There's illegal immigrants of all nationalities here in America, man. There's illegal aliens. I'm not gonna say aliens. There's illegal immigrants of all nationalities here in America. Why did you target Issachar? Why did you target Levi? Right? Where's the war on Asians, so-called Asians, so-called Africans, all right? There's always been illegal immigrants. The average Edomite is a descendant of illegal immigrants, man. Do you know how many people came to the Americas by way of the East Coast back in the 19th century, early 20th century, at those ports? All right, for the same reasons, man. But your kingdom is almost out of here, and part of your kingdom being out of here is that the eyes of your superiority is being dismantled. That delusion of grandeur, all right, that you project to the world, that you showcase to the world that you're some guy, all right, that has been dismantled, because it's an information war, and through that information war, the scripture says that the Most High All right, Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his coming. But through the spirit of his mouth, who you are to this world, all right, has been revealed. All right, you're no longer that perceived God. All right, you're no longer a Wizard of Oz, man. All right, you're this little guy, little small head. They created this movement behind this superiority image, the superior image, man. And not only is your image being attacked and you're being exposed to who you are, all right, what you've done to this earth is being exposed. All right, we don't need your pharmaceuticals, all right, pharmaceuticals. We don't need your pharmaceuticals. That's what it does. It harms the body. We don't need your pharmaceuticals. All right, we don't need your processed food. All those things have ruined life. Women's liberation that ruined life. All right, social media ruined families. All right, everything you've done through your administration, through your kingdom, it's been a liability to the planet Earth. It's been a detriment to life. Everything you've done, it's been a liability to life, because you had this narrative that you make things better, that you enhance existence. You take creation and you enhance it. That was your narrative. But everything you've done was deleterious to nature. It was deleterious to life. If you look up the word deleterious, it goes back to delete. Everything you does, it wears away in life. It deteriorates life. All the facets of your kingdom, it destroys life. Look at deforestation. Look at your farming methods. Everything you've done. One of the main causes of death in America is medical malpractice. You know, if not the main cause, is one of the main causes, man. This is a very harsh rulership that we live in. It's a very fucking bitter society, man. You know, the average hard-working Jake is taking years off his life just working in your industries, man. Whereas in the ancient world, man, you could chop wood till you're 90 years old. And I've met Jakes when I was young out in the country as a distant relative. He was like 90 years old chopping wood, man. You see? When you align yourself up with nature, man, you can live for almost 100 years. But in this kingdom, in order for you to live to get past 70, in order that you forget to be around 70, man, you got to get drugged up with all these pills, man. But Esau pushes the narrative that he makes the world a better place. This nigga, this nigga pushed something called McDonald's. He pushed something called fast food. Watch a documentary on YouTube, or watch any documentary on YouTube when they have a blue zone diet get destroyed by the advent of fucking fast food, man. So the baby boom generation or the silent generation, they'll be known to live to be like 90, 100 years old, and they'll be functional. It'll be a functional 90 years old. But then their grandkids will be like 11 or 12 with pre-diabetes or full-blown diabetes because they give their grandkids McDonald's. The McDonald's was set up shop right in the middle of the fucking jungle. All right? And I didn't even factor in the corpses that's been found inside of fast food. This nigga's a fucking demonic ass drug dealer, man. You know? But every facet of, like, your religion mind fucked everybody. And to this day, despite what I said earlier, you got niggas, you got Israelites that still believe in this Edomite God. They still believe in the color white. They to this day, they believe that there's a people who are the color white because of your propaganda. They don't look at you as a melanin deficient race. They look at you as the color white. The color white. You know? And especially Eve. They prefer that Messiah don't be a so-called black man. I mean, it's dangerous to have a son by a so-called black woman because she hates black men. This is dangerous, man. And if she loves them in a way that really harms them. You know? Like if I had a daughter, I wouldn't just have her around me all the time. I have her around women so she could develop in her womanhood. You see? If you have a son, you're not going to have him around you all the time. You're going to push him around, put him around men so he can develop in his manhood. But Eve turned a boy into a girl, you know? But under whose rulership does she do that? Under Esau's rulership. Because Esau worships pussy. He worships the vagina god. He worships Semiramis. It's part of how he get his power. Worshiping Satan through these different idols. Feminism is the earth run under a software program of vagina worship, man. Gynocracy, what they call it. But it's under the vibration of the Queen of Heaven. It's like you're running the world through a software program. All right, and that software program is through a demonic energy. Because the demonic energy out under the Queen of Heaven. And if you look into the scriptures, if you look into, I think it was Ezekiel they mentioned it, and Jeremiah they mentioned it, how Israel was baking cakes to the Queen of Heaven, which that goes back to Sunday, you know, and that goes back to Mother's Day, or what they turned Mother's Day into, all right? That goes back to Easter, the fertility goddess, all right? And that's why Jake has been under a demonic spell with women, you know? Well, really, you're the prize. Because when the Most High created Adam, all right, that was his glorious work, that he made the Adam, that he made Yahushua in clay form. He made a man, you know, of the earth. That was his creation. That was like you have the movie or the story of Frankenstein, when Frankenstein created his monster. And he said, it's alive, it's alive. Well, the right-hand side of that was the Most High, well, really, Yahushua and the angels alike. Yahushua and the angels, they making Adam. All right, and ultimately it was under the Most High. Well, they making Adam. And it's like it's alive. But before Adam, he made a woman to help me. He pulled a woman out of his tribe and made her help me. But it's not because the woman was superior. No, that was for Adam. Okay, if you have a son, right? You're a rich king. You have a son. And he said, well, I don't want my son to be alone, or I don't want my son doing all the work himself. Let me get him a maid. So does all of a sudden the maid becomes the main character? No, she's his maid. So if there's anything you're going to exalt, it's the man. It's not for my ego's sake, but the prize of the Most High is the Israelite man. You know? Let me give my son a maid. Let me give my son a housekeeper. You know? Do you all of a sudden worship the help? Worship the housekeeper? No. You see? And throughout all this time, women never stopped being housekeepers. They never stopped being helpings. They just been outsourced to be corporate helpings. And that's another way that Esau destroyed the fucking family. Because out of all the females in your family, there's nobody there to watch grandma. All right? You got your little ones in daycare. You see? Somebody gets sick, you take them to the hospital. And then what happens is the nurse has a group of people that she has to rotate under her watch. You know? So you go to the hospital and there's a nurse who has to rotate her patients. So she watches this patient and she watches that patient. And even if she has a good heart, all right, it's a business, it's under a business. You know? If you don't have health insurance, if you got free program, you might get substandard treatment. The fact that you're Israelite, there's a chance you might have substandard treatment. You know, you have a baby, people don't treat your babies how you treat your babies, because Esau ruined the power that comes with the family. It's not just a bunch of motherfuckers that's related to each other. The nurses are a part of the family. All right? The daycare is a part of the family. All right? You see? The nursing school, that's a part of the family. And even all these different services that you get, like mechanics and just different house repairs, all these men is in your family. All right? They supposed to have these skills, man. You 7, 8 years old working with uncle. Whatever uncle does, you know, and I'm just talking about like the American version. Whatever uncle does, man. That's why you got them Jakes in the country. In the rural parts of, you know, Mississippi or just different parts, especially in the South. Jake, they grew up in the country, man. Them dudes be badasses by the time they get in their 20s. Because they was helping their uncles build houses since they was a little boy. Reinstalling toilets and, you know, plumbing and all that. That's how it's supposed to be. And if y'all, and these different families got some land, and they've built houses on this land, man, that town is like a community. That family is like a little city within itself, a little society. Because you got somebody to watch the kids that's probably related to you. You got somebody to fix something in your house that's probably related to you. But this nigga, Esau Edom, he think he liberated everybody, but he really just enslaved everybody. Because not only are you as a man a debt slave, because everybody is stuck on this thing called provider, right? But a man is not supposed to have to go to work 16 hours a day to provide for his family. Because some of us came from those line of men who provided because they believe, okay, the man provides. But they did it through the American system. You have to remember. It said he should wear out the saints of the Most High. You know? But you're supposed to have your own land by the time you're a young man. You're not supposed to have to work till you die to provide for your family. Be a human robot. Even that mindset has been perverted. That concept has been perverted through the American system. You a whole warehouse robot, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Or you stuck on the road driving trucks. You never see your family, so you provide for your family. Stop playing, man. You know? So Esau has ruined, I'm just naming different examples of how Esau just ruined the natural order of things. That's another topic. Esau has ruined the natural order of things. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to the power of Bahashim Osai. Bahashim Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Root Well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness, and house of David the elect. Abba Baal, Kum Yashala, Shalom.